Everybody, I'm going to do a quick little update on ETH here. So this is called a Adam and Eve bottom. So you've got the Adam part, which is this spike down. I'll draw it for you. So this is the Adam, and then this is the Eve. You normally see this at like some kind of a bottoming formation, and then once it breaks up here, you kind of take a target from this top point to the low point here, and then you bring that right up here. I always kind of take a little bit lower of like a target for pulling profit. But if you bought like down here, that would be your profit point. Sometimes this will bounce up here and retest again before it actually makes up to that target. But the majority of the time that you see this pattern, it hits that target. So that's the minimum target right there. And that brings it to like 2,500 to about 2,800. What we're seeing here is the first wave. So you have your first wave here, 2 wave back, 3, maybe 4, and then I would expect to see some kind of 5. 3 could end up here, and then just do a small little leg for 5, pushing to 28 or something. There's a lot of different ways that can play out, but we should be currently in this actual wave 3 of the first wave. Okay. And then you'd have your first wave here, and then 2 could come all the way back to 1,500 or whatever, and then you'd have 3 right there, 4, and then 5. It can look something like that. None of these are accurate targets. Elliott wave is very difficult to predict. It's just easier to see it as it's playing out. So, for example, you can take the big cycle of this last cycle on ETH. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So that's your whole entire Elliott wave cycle. And that's kind of what you should see on this next one. That's what I'm expecting to see. Indicators still look good for ETH. We're passing through the zero line on the MACD, and then you are overbought on the weekly. But whenever this becomes a problem, it needs to go back under this 80 line. So that's when you want to be real cautious. When it's up here, it's okay. Once it crosses down here below the 80 line, then it's probably time for a correction. Not all the time. You have to look at other stuff, but I don't see any like divergence, bearish divergence, or anything on this just yet. So looks like ETH still has some room to the upside, probably for the next couple months, as well as some of the other altcoins that we're looking at in the group. And a lot of those coins are up right now if you've been following. So, so that's all I have for ETH. Talk to you on the next one.